one. Well, just got back from spring break, and it was Vegas break. Yeah, I went to Vegas. It was kind of interesting. I expected I expected Vegas to be a bit dirtier or sluttier. It turns out it's actually douchebaggier, and uh, what's the word? I'll think of it later. Anyway, I expected prostitutes to be lining the streets all over the place, but instead their ads. Well, there are people handing out these little cards. It's almost like a collector's item because even though they're absolutely littered the streets because they hand them out at waist level, and sometimes people pick them up by accident then drop it in disgust or shame or whatever. These people are really persistent too. If you're not with a bunch of kids like I was, they really go for you. They don't get in your face or anything. Only the real salespeople do that. But they just they try to draw you in, and if they can't, they just hold the cards or magazines out in front of you. And if you aren't paying full attention to what you're doing, you could end up picking them up. Because I'm a sucker for handouts, and I actually accidentally picked up a few of them too. I dropped them like the rest of them. It's kind of cute because I don't know how they did, but they make this little clicking sound with the cards. I don't know. Here, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's basically that, but magnified. It, it's, you hear that all throughout the strip if you're outside. These, these vendors keep clicking the cards and handing them out to people so frequently. And I never thought I'd see something like this, but there are uh, porn stands where you can just walk up to them and open them up and get some porn, or what really is more advertisements for the strip clubs around the strip. And there are those things littered throughout the entire strip. And it was so funny because I know I'm breaking the rule that whatever happens should stay in Vegas, but that's bullshit, really. There are a few things that don't stay in Vegas, like sexually transmitted diseases, gambling debt, and something else I can't remember. And there, well, what was it? Oh yeah, I helped my brothers uh, truly enjoy Vegas in a way, because my littlest brother, he's about 14, so he's his sex drive is just kicking in, and he wanted one of the magazines, but my mom wouldn't let him pick one out because it looks weird for a kid to be taking one of those magazines, or it's even weird to think that a kid would want to hire a prostitute. Of course, they haven't seen Milk Money. Anyway, I had to I had to go. I think it was the Bellagio. No, it was part of Caesar's Palace that I went in front of it. I sent my brothers off to the fountain because there's a huge fountain in front of. I think it's Caesar's Palace. Yeah, it looks a lot like Caesar's Palace. And yeah, I'm making a really shitty video, isn't it? That's what I do with these non-scripted ones. I just spew out all this shit if I can remember it. Anyway, I grabbed a magazine, well, the magazine that he wanted from the stand, and I folded it up really quickly. I don't think I folded it up fast enough because there are people constantly walking by. And I was just as ashamed as my brother was to even be in the same be in the same 3 feet with him. And I folded them up real good. I handed them to my little brother, and he stuffed it in his pocket. And then we walked a little bit over to a few of the bridges, because well, here's another thing about Vegas. There are beggars. There's one beggar per bridge usually, unless it's nighttime, and in other words, it could be up to 4 or 0. And there's one beggar on every bridge. So my other brother wanted some pot. He had never tried Vegas pot before, and he's the only pot smoker in the family. But me and David are the only ones in the family who support his right to do what he wants to his own body. And so my brother wanted some Las Vegas hash, and he figured that the homeless people would definitely know where it was. So we had a fun time abandoning him. Well, we didn't really abandon him, but we just kept walking as he stopped and asked the homeless people where to find a dealer. Because, there probably wouldn't be any, hiccup, dealers along the strip. They'd probably be further off the strip. And it was funny. There was this guy who had a sign that said, "Need money for pot." And it was so hilarious. He actually knew where to get marijuana, but he said he had to go out and on the strip at about 3 a.m. and none of us really wanted to do that because we would be asleep by then. And that reminds me. Question of the day is this is the last part of the video. Question of the day. Is Las Vegas or New York the city that never sleeps? Because I know that Las Vegas is Sin City, but I don't... And New York is the Big Apple, but I want to know if Las Vegas or New York are the city that never sleeps. Or even if it's both. I don't know. So, thanks. Bye.